Well, let's see. I've gotten a couple errors already. So let me know. I'm not seeing any issues. But it does say poor stream status for some reason. I'm not sure why. Unless YouTube's having issues or a storm. So let me know if video or sound is messed up or whatnot. Yeah, now it's restarting for some reason. Very strange. Unless I should try the other server. Yep. This is weird. It just shows for some reason I'm way behind on that video. It's weird. The ping times are showing good, but the thing is showing poor for some reason. I don't know if it'll clear up or we'll give it a go or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if we should try the other server or not. Yeah, I've got it's showing that it's actually on the YouTube transmission side from what I'm seeing. Maybe I'll try the other server. Yeah, I can see it now in my video. The playback is very it's very choppy. But see, now it's showing stream status excellent. Oh, it went back. I don't know if they're having issues. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, you should really reboot it 3 times, right? Too many people are using YouTube. What's up, Frederico? I don't know if we're having issues still or what, or I don't know just yet. I don't know. We're going to see if I'm still all choppy and everything. See, speed test, it looks good. We're going to try a couple things before we get dropped. It will be the first, I can tell you that. Upstream still looks decent. It's got to be something with YouTube. Because that speed test looked fine. I still had, even with all this stuff running, I still had over like 15 megabit upload still, even with that. I don't know if the storm rolling in or whatever, but it's gonna bother the hell out of me if it still continues though. There's one other backup. Looks like a backup server URL I can use to put in the streaming system. I'm sure there's a ton of people streaming on YouTube at this time. But hey, maybe I'll learn this next time. I'll run a test. I'll run a test stream next time. See, now it says excellent connection. All right. Whatever, YouTube. You have infinite buffering, Federico, and you're the star of the show, man. So, all right. So we're 5 minutes in. I'm sure someone will leave a comment later down saying, "Nope, didn't start till 5 minutes in, not the typical 1 minute or whatever." I don't know what I can do with audio. I've got it set for ultra low latency. So, you have any good Wi-Fi RGB floodlights? Yeah. And I guess I went in. I was trying to be ahead of the game and make my stuff and put my stuff. And I guess it went ahead and scheduled it. And then I started seeing the chat pop up, and I'm like, "What the hell? Am I live or whatever?" I don't. If you look, there's a. Are you talking about like the actual floodlights? Because let's see. I know that there was a few that people had said that did work with Tuya Convert, and that's the list I'm looking at. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the connection thing at the same time, so y'all bear with me. That's a 4-pack, and I guess that's what I'm talking about, floodlights. Yeah, now that's why I say there's a couple different types of floodlights. These are nuts. Oh, they're currently unavailable. Someone else said that the other day. And I know they were available. They were behind on. They were back ordered on the website too. LED floodlights. I don't know. Isn't show on their website? Oh, yeah, look, pre-sale in stock on April 28th. Showing for that. These are awesome. I've got like 4 of them. I got one of them like going across my driveway, and I don't necessarily use them for all the colors and stuff, but it's pretty cool. I mean they're awesome. So if they ever get back in stock, they are Tuya convertible, and they're just 5-channel PWM, so you can use them with whatever you want, from the Tasmota to ESP Home or whatever. So there's no crazy like special LED driver or anything in them. So before I lose Frederico, because I know he's a couple hours ahead of me, I believe. I don't know if anybody saw. Let's see if I can go back and pull the link and where's Frederico? So there's the oh, that's the wrong one, isn't it, huh? I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? I should scroll back more. 8117 was the one. And let me zoom this in right quick so y'all can kind of read it. So I know it's always been a talk of everyone asking about, I've always done like the simple stuff like short press, long press on Tasmota. And then there's that other one you can do, which is kind of weird to enable for some, where you can do like the short press, long press, and then double press. But then there's some, I played with it once or twice. And I want to say you had to keep it coupled to the relay. Well, that was always an issue, especially if you had something like, for instance, I'll show like, there's the KMC 3 plug I have here. And there's like a little smart power strip that's 5 relays and 1 button. And, you know, you just don't have enough actions for out of that 1 button with Tasmota. Well, not anymore. And do remind me that I will put a bin file on my GitHub where y'all can just go download it. 'Cause I know not everybody just knows how to dig in and do their own compiling of Tasmota. I've did one already with, this is not by default in the bin file as of now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe so, because it still needs some additional testing. So if you guys have some devices that you want to test this on and try it out with the buttons with multiple relays or whatever it might be, by all means, we'll do it. We'll do it on here, and I'll put the bin file in my GitHub. So do remind me, and that way y'all can just download it and flash it to your device and test, and we can re-add into this. And I'll leave this down in the description of the live stream, as well as where we put the bin in the live stream, so you can go back later. And if you got any problems, or hey, it looks great, I love it, everything, then just go ahead and hey, drop a comment in there. I know he's looking for input on, because it's kind of a big change in the way, from what I understand, with the way buttons are handled inside Tasmota itself. So I've already flashed. I don't know if you can hear the thunder outside. I've already flashed the device. And one thing on the bin file I did also, Frederico, is I did, that way you know it's flashed, it will say button V2. And so when you flash the bin, I did cut a lot of features out of it, just trying to make it a small bin. And I guess I could have done the Gzip thing on it, but I just did it when it did a bin. It was like 470K. You may, depending on your device, you may have to flash minimal manually and then flash this bin file. So it's not going to do that automatic minimal thing in there in the middle for you, because you're going to just this weird version of a bin file. But it is based on, I pulled this today off of the Tasmota development GitHub, and then I did change the options for this button V2, and then I changed the tag to button V2. And that's just so you'll know, hey, is it flash? Is it working? And then also for support reasons, if someone says, hey, I'm having a problem with yada, 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 when you fill out the support form, they'll see it's button V2 listed on that bin file instead of just the generic Tasmota. So the cool part is, I guess we can, let me fix and no, this is not any particular product placement. We can cover the Tekken if we want. And I think I even tried to look recently. I don't know if they're just out of stock, but Tekken did change their power strip. I want to say the USB is more in the middle now. It's something different looking. That's the RTL version. That's not ESP based. So don't get that one if you ever think about getting one of these power strips. The reason why I chose the power strip, because it's got lights. I don't know if we'll be able to see them on the camera. Hey, what's up, Nick? And they have lights on the relay here, and it's just it's a 5 relay device, real simple to test out. So, yeah, the power strip. Let's see. Yeah, it's a. I Googled for smart power strip, and they have tons of these. There's Ton Bucks. I know there was one of them we ran into that was bad. It actually left the hot side going, and I know it's AC, but it was actually only turning off the neutral. This one here, is I think the one that doesn't have that is the RTL, because you see that they've moved the buttons different. It has like a little Wi-Fi thing. I want to say that's the RTL version. I tried to find. I know this GoSun one works fine. I guess I should put the screen up instead of just talking in the air. I know this GoSun one works fine. But of course it's 3 instead of 4. So yeah, so just be careful on some of these things. But that's where we're just looking at wanting to try this just guy out here. So what's really cool about and I want to check, is set option 30, set option 73. Okay, is off. Okay. So the cool part, and I'll show you, there's no weird setting this thing up. There's no rules on here that are enabled. There's no special set options. It's really kind of at default. And just pushing, and I'll see if I can get my fat hand out the way. Hopefully we can see these on the camera. Yeah, so you should be able to see that. Let me minimize this so I can be for sure that my thing is still saying decent connection. So I just push it once. Well, if you push it twice, you can see number 2. I'm pushing it. There's number. Oh, I pushed it twice again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? Does it go up to 5, Federico, or you got to do a rule for 5? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. So it's pretty cool that you can just, and it's pretty simple. That's, you do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Now, if you do, let me flip back to my other screen. If you do set option 73.1, okay, we're still good. Okay. It is storming like crazy outside. Now you got me wondering now. Let's see. Just if you want to see right quick, it's what I'm talking. It is storming like you can't believe outside. So, and yes, that's purple lights. That's why that's like that. So, so we'll go back to. So when you turn on set option 73, that now when set option 73 is decouples the buttons from the relay. So if you just push it once, you see it does action single. And then if you push twice, you get the action double. And then there's the triple. I think I did it 5. Yeah, there's penta. So but I did do a rule on it. If you wanted to do a rule, if I can get that out the way. Button 1. What did I do? I turned on something with pointer focus. Show hot keystrokes. No, I want to do that. Yeah, the relay 5 is those USB ports. Equal, let's see, do publish. let's do tests, button, value, end on, 1. Okay. So what I'm doing here is it's basically, I'm just going to grab the state of that button every time. And so it's just going to push it to MQTT, just showing that it's state 10. And I'll explain why. So there's 11. I did 11 again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count today. There we go. So really what's the cool part of that is once you decoupled it, you got to think about a wall switch. And I know a lot of the people in the Z-Wave world are like, yeah, we could do that with those Innovelli and how do you say the name? Invelli. I'm going tongue twister. I know I can see the name. These guys. The Innovelli, I guess we'll say it. Is they've had a bunch of switches and stuff that where you could do like 3, 4, 5 multipresses. And I know it can get confusing to some, but think about if you do have a light switch that you before where you had a short press and then a long press to do something. Well, now you can do, and you still do have the long press, I believe. Let me check. Let me do set option. You still do have the long press. Yeah. So that's still the 3. So you think about it, you've got actually 5 presses and then you got the long press. So you could really do 6 actions all from one single light switch on the wall. And whether you just want to keep it, a single press turns the light on and you want to do double press to do something else, triple press, whatever. Yeah, so you could do, and really you think about it, even let's say a switch that has 2 or 3 buttons, then, you've got that. That's times 6. You can really get 18 different actions out of things. So that's the pretty cool stuff. Any questions? Or I know that I saw a lot of woes and everything. And hopefully that it's really, at first when I saw the multi-press, double press stuff, I don't know if I want to mess with that. And just to show you, real simple, and this is actually on this device here, which is actually really, they're priced pretty good, pretty good. They had a sale on them actually for like $7 a piece with a coupon code a couple of days ago. But these are those KMC. And you can see I bought quite a few of them. And it's 3 relays and it does have power monitoring. So is there a way to adjust the time? That's good. Frederico may be to answer that I did play with the I was playing with it going like you could do real quick. And then I was trying to see how long it would wait, but I know Frederico may be able to answer more on the time of what it does. But it's definitely a game changer for these multi-relay devices. See, this is that KMC device, and I've done the same thing with it. Now, this bottom one on the bottom corner, let me see. It's an always on, and so it's got just 1, 2, 3, and it's 1 power monitoring across the 3 combined. But I did the same thing. You put 1, and then you want to do. There's 2, and then there's 3. So it's kind of it's very simple and it definitely is a game changer for some of these devices. So. Is there an outdoor motion sensor? Yes and no. Yeah. So this one's that. Just to show why I have it on here, you can see it's just the it does turn on all 3 different relays on there. And I think someone else did ask. There on that power strip, the 5th I think I have as the USB ports. Yeah, it's the 5th. I do have that light off on my desk so y'all could see these LEDs. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see them. So half a second. Okay. Actually, I've done a few on there, Matt, for the outside lights, and that was I've actually used. One way I used Blue Iris and did MQTT through that way. I've seen other people, as long as you don't get them wet. I know they're not really meant to be outside. I'm sure, but you can seal them up in different ways. Is those little Wise sensors? I've seen a lot of people use those outside as well. So, I don't have the motion, but I have the door sensor in my mailbox. Is it possible to make a rule after a relay? Yeah, that would be the the pulse time? The pulse timer, I think it is. I don't know. I don't remember if pulse timer turns it on and then, but you could actually do a couple different ways. I think you can do it with pulse timer if it turns on and then turns off, or you could do a rule and do a rule timer and turn things back off. So, but before I forget, let's go, let me put this in here right quick, because I'm going to forget about it. We're going to put it under bins, and we'll put it under alternate. Okay. And let me go grab it and drag it in right quick. And yeah, it's definitely time for bed in some areas. That I wish I really could do more during. I've done one way in the past during the day, but I just been way too busy with work. Fortunately and unfortunately, I guess depends on how you want to look at it. And working a lot of hours and different hours. And I'm trying to copy this file, make sure I got the right file so I don't get you guys the wrong one. So give me 1 second here. And we'll rename this one to Tasmota 8204 buttons V2. All right. And we'll just commit changes. All right. So here's the bin and alternate, and it's in this folder. I do a lot of data analytics stuff and DBA things. I don't advertise everything I do on for what place, but it's dealing a lot of stuff with just some government stuff and different contracts and whatnot. So now, of course, with that being disaster time, my job shifts and I pick up a couple roles. So now I'm getting flood warnings on my phone, but hopefully it'll pass. If I didn't flood here with 32 inches of rain, I probably will be fine tonight. So what else? Multipress on the KMC4. Yeah, that's pretty cool. On one state over, Andrew, to the right or the east, whatever you want to call it. So Multipress is pretty simple. Just remember, set option 73 will decouple it from the button from the relay. But if you just want to have it straight up coupled, just leave it set option 73 is off, and then you'll have your multi-press as long as you have it on, as a button. Yeah, actually, I know that is that's one of the good things and bad things, pseudo, is about ESP Home, is you can dig in with a lot of features in YAML, but then again, it does add some complexity to things. And that's probably why I prefer to use like on light switches and bulbs and just, your simple everyday stuff like these things. I like to just throw Tasmota on it in the template and done, because you can really, throw one in, throw the template on it, and if you really use set option 19 auto discovery, I mean, you can have a device from flash to in your Home Assistant within less than a couple of minutes, and you're not writing any code or anything. So, um, yeah, it's of course everything's got its pros and cons. Like when I do multi-sensor builds, I like to do the BME 280, like that BME 280 sensor I did. I like to dig into some of the features on the sensor, and that's when I like to use ESP Home for it. So, um, let's see what else. We covered the multi-press pretty quick, because it's really stupid simple. And let me give you that link in here. That way, oh, I just heard all my battery backups trigger, but they came back. That's not good. So if we have to cut the stream pretty quickly, you'll know why. Because I think I'll typically last about 30 or 40 minutes of battery, and we'll see what happens. Bins and alternate. Did I paste that in there already? I may have done that already. If I did it already, whatever. No, the power just tripped for a split second. I just heard all the relays going click, and that was it. So I don't know how bad it is. Let's see, where's the radar on this thing now? Everybody's made it so bad. You used to have the radar down at the bottom. There it is. Get this out the way. Yeah, the first wave is past. It's I'm on the southern tip of it, so yeah. It'll be past not too long. Earthquakes? Okay. Oh, okay, so you're on the... Yep, we'll be fine. I'm not over here in I'm not in this mess, fortunately, so I'll be fine. So, but you never know. The other day, and speaking of set option 65 we were talking about in that one stream, was I went out, it just finished raining, but then the wind had died down a little bit, and I'm guessing a tree or something fell down the street. And I was outside, and all I saw, and it was overcast, dark, and I just saw this blue clouds lighting up, and the power pulsed about 5 or 6 times within 10 seconds. And I got one LifeX bulb. It factory reset that LifeX bulb. And I can only imagine if I would have had set option 65 not turned on my devices, I would have had 50 or 60 Tasmota devices all with their access points. So I had no issues with them. That was great. Oh, hey, what's up, Linear Burn? Yeah, I appreciate it. Linear Burn's got a weird dimmer that's he's gonna send to me, that maybe we'll cover, and it's not ESP based, but they do have some other firmware for it, and you can just flash it without any exploits. You just go to the web page on it and flash it, from what he was telling me. So Um, Trying to remember which one. Let's see. We can go pull that up. Let's see. Is my I don't know if you can drop the link in there, linear burn or not. Hey, I appreciate it, Timothy. Much appreciated. Yeah, that power monitoring. Oh, okay. So you're okay. So I popped in on your stream the other day. So yeah, that was I want to say old curmudgeon. He popped in and told me, hey, he's talking about your stuff, and I was like, cool. And so yeah, that circuit setup board is the bomb. It's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I know there's a lot of 3D printer. Let's see, turn this off. A lot of 3D printer guys. And so if y'all want to go check out his stuff, I know he was doing a live stream talking about the power monitoring in his house. And I know there's a big, there's several guys that are in on doing a lot of 3D printing and on my Discord server and stuff. So definitely go check his stuff out if you. I know a lot of people don't have anything else going on, so go check out his website and whatnot and some of his content. Yeah, that's cool. That will definitely do it. A frozen picture. We didn't have any issues yet since that was the beginning of the thing. We're showing still excellent condition. Still showing. Okay, cool. Yeah, we had some issues starting off that YouTube kept saying not getting enough packets, not getting enough stream and everything. And so, yeah, that was a issue for a few minutes. I guess everybody else must have been doing some 8 o'clock streams or something. No idea. What else did we were going to talk about? Oh, what time is it? 8:30. Yeah, we're still good. I don't know if Patrick was here. Patrick did. And then I want to say it was Patrick in I can't. I know I'm gonna go blank. It was either Zero Cool or somebody else. They were talking about an alarm, and I'll see if I can get it here. The Tasmota alarm, if you want to call it that. Do you want actually the long? I don't say long story because I'm never into any long story stuff. Long story short, my short stories end up long stories. I started with Z-Wave probably several years ago, and I was just like with an ADT alarm system, and then I went to Smart Things, and then after that I went to I had a number. I only had like 2 or 3 switches. Yeah, okay. I'll get that link linear. I had an issue with I only had 3 or 4 switches, and even like with the one hub, we had issues with stuff falling off. Like switches wouldn't work and whatever. I just really thought it was the reliability. And then I just really got tired of it. Well, then I said, well, Smart Things is going to fix it. Yes, because it's a better hub. Had the same exact issues. And so I actually took a switch and the hub, brought it somewhere else. It worked perfect. And then that's at that point, then I actually got an SDR and started looking at the 900 megahertz band, and there was just so much interference. And I don't know if it's still that way. I haven't looked in a while. But after that point, I just went to the Wi-Fi stuff. When the Sonoff Basics were kind of out, and everybody was starting to flash them and everything, and it just was kind of a no-brainer for me. And then whenever especially a lot of the other switches started hitting the market of like the Martin Jerry switches and the dimmers and all these other things. Yeah. Hey, thanks, John. I just the price of it. I was able to get a switch for like $13 to $15, and I could flash it. And at that time, we did have to solder things, and but it was still simple to solder stuff. And some of the switches you could just put DuPont like jumpers or whatever in the holes, and it would work fine. And then Till You Convert came along, and that was awesome. That you could just plug in stuff and do the exploit and flash Tasmota or ESP home and be done with it. And I've probably got, I know there's some people out there with more than I now. Not that I have the most anyway. I've probably got like 100 devices or so on my Wi-Fi. Now it's some other media devices and stuff. And I just have 2 Ubiquiti access points in the house. And the reliability is just second to none on that. And, you know, the troubleshooting is so simple because it's just TCP/IP, so you can ping stuff. It's just, I found it's just, and I still have a Z-Wave and a Zigbee stick. Now, the one thing that's going to be really, I say good, where Z-Wave and Zigbee comes out is going to be your battery powered devices. There's, you know, of course, as you know, for Wi-Fi and battery powered devices, even one that's sleep, it sucks. Like, I've seen some like door sensors, and that's just dumb. I'll just say it right there. It's stupid. The door sensors on Wi-Fi, and it's just the delay is too much. Like there's like 10 seconds sometimes. So, but yeah, the Ubiquiti stuff. I've been running Ubiquiti stuff for a couple of years now, and I'm not a full Ubiquiti stack person. I had an Edge router, which is Ubiquiti, and I just switched to OpenSense. But I love their access points. They're awesome. So there's my short story that's long. Like for instance, this is that dimmer, that Linear Burn sent. Now it's not Tasmota based, but you can put your own firmware on it and enable MQTT. And I mean, really, like that's a dimmer for what, $13 right now? That's nuts. So yeah. So, and he was sending that to me to play with. I'm supposed to get like Thursday or so. Maybe we'll do something. So that's where I was kind of leading to next is, and maybe we'll try to do another live stream them messing with that one. Yeah, I know what I like to go with. A lot of I like those Martin Jerry switches and the Martin Jerry dimmers, but they're not always, you know, for everybody. And some people like the Treat Lifes and things like that. So the Stitch stuff. So the Stitch stuff is, let me turn that light on before this one actually, Patrick actually took the time to go through it. Oops. The book we don't need. I don't know if Patrick is here. It's Patrick DK. I saw he was here earlier. And this alarm is, I would say, is loud for what the size of it is. But the cool part is, and I gotta move my stuff here so you guys can see this. Yeah, there he is. So we're gonna share his stuff here. Let me fix the zoom because I hate the autofocus. You'll notice something. You killed them. I know it's upside down, but you'll notice something right away. Is, let me fix this autofocus again. The manual focus. I hate the autofocus, and this thing is gonna drive me nuts. We'll get off that right quick. Once it settles down, that arm goes crazy whenever it's zoomed in, make you sick. So there's a ESP there's an ESP8266 right here, and then of course there's the Wi-Fi antenna on it up here, and you can do them with till you convert, but there is, as you can see, if shit hits the fan, that there is GPIO 0. Looks like there's RX and TX pins. There's 3.3 volts. So if you really had to, you could, if till you convert, of course, the exploit stops working at one point, which it has in the past, then of course you could use an FTDI and flash it, with just doing those 5 jumper wires. But I typically don't solder the GPIO 0. I just touch it to that pin temporarily. So how'd you kill those 2 alarms, Patrick? Let me see. Let me drop the... So this alarm... But I want to show some of the cool stuff on this alarm. I thought Patrick did a killer job on reverse engineering this thing. Using rechargeable batteries. Okay, so there's your learning lesson for the day. If you get one of these things, don't use rechargeable batteries. So it looks like it's, as of now, it's around $23, and it's from Monoprice. There's a couple other ones that are on AliExpress, but they look kind of this. I think some of them do temperature and humidity. Let me plug this one in. Of course, I'm going to bump the hell out of the camera. But this one doesn't have temperature and humidity on it. NeoCool. Yeah, so I'll try to leave some of those links later. I will find some of those off of, or we can post them now if Patrick may have them. Yeah, it does have. Let me go back to the desk. We don't need a super zoomed in thing anymore, right? If I don't break my lamp. Yeah, so it has a USB port on the back, regular micro USB to power it, and then if I can get the battery cover off. Yeah, I had an issue trying to get the battery cover off, but yeah, it was only 2 to 3 days. Trying to see if we can pop the battery off. If I'm locking it right. Yeah, I was locking it. Duh. So what is that? That's it. Are those the... I appreciate it, Jim. Are those the CR... Was it the Shelly Floods? The CR 123As, I believe? I'm surprised the rechargeables died on it, but... So thank you, sir. Yeah, CR123. Yeah, I just put some lithium ones in. But of course, yeah, I could see that would only if it's just on just battery, that would probably not last that long. It seemed like I didn't read the book, of course, like I normally don't do, but it seemed like he would just put the batteries in there. It would use the batteries whenever there was no USB power, correct? And it would flip over automatically. Let me snag the IP address to this guy. I guess if you really wanted to get down to it, if you wanted to make it, you could put like a And there's thousands of freaking battery packs that are USB rechargeables. You could probably put something next to it if you wanted to, if you had issues where you couldn't power it. You could do that. Like I've seen people do Raspberry Pis like that, where they ran a Raspberry Pi on those battery packs and use them as kind of like a battery backup for a Raspberry Pi. I'm not sure if that's how good that works, but I've seen it where they do the charging from the wall to the battery pack and then power the Raspberry Pi off of that battery pack, and they said it would last like so long with no power to it. It would last over a day. I'm trying to find the IP address to this. Oh, I would need to turn on the USB first. Give me 1 second here. I would normally holler out over the voice assistant, but I'm just not going to be that mean. All right. Eight volts to this is at max 6 volt. Yeah, I'm assuming there's there's a power regulator in there. I didn't look. Of course, didn't map it all out. I wanted to see what the guts were like, and then that was it. And yeah, that actually, Timothy, because I know there's a lot of people are wanting to not basically there's that hurdle for some to do that flashing, and as we know and we all know it's already starting to go away, is the two-year convert. There's been some newer devices where they've done with something with the PSK key on those, and they haven't totally redone reverse engineered that just yet again. So it's always that cat and mouse game. They're going to always patch things and try to patch us out of things. So when it gets to that point, I think you really got someone that just, hey, I just want to buy some stuff. And buy some stuff and then be able to flash firmware on it. That's kind of open. I can see that would be really good to people. Yeah, and then there's a lot of them that went to RTL based. So it's a lot of people are kind of gun shy. Hey, which ones do I buy or whatever? And not everybody wants to do any type of soldering. And I can tell you, and I know if you've looked at them, is the Shelly switches. And I'm just looking to see if I have one around here, which I do. The Shelly switches. Now this one has the port cover on it. It has that little pin header that's open right here, where it's just you put in like your 4 or 5 DuPont jumpers, and that's pretty cool that they kind of embrace the community with them. So yeah, I don't know, Paul. I think if he was not charging for the actual software, and of course I'm no lawyer here, so is if he's just charging for the device and then like shipping and handling and stuff, and I think it would be fine. But of course you probably guys know more about those GPL laws and everything there, so I think it would be pretty cool service, as long as I know people like to have a good size relay in them, because like a lot of these plugs will be like 15 amps, but like I try to stay with if it's a 15 amp plug, I try to use that 50 to 60% rule, where just not going over that 50 or 60%, because I honestly don't trust a lot of plugs, but so this guy should be on that I can tell you that I wish Shelly would do that, where they would put something in the app or the web page that, hey, you could go hit upload firmware, and if we had to hit, I accept like 3 or 4 times, or punch in a code, before you could, hey, type this little captcha code type deal or something. That way anybody couldn't accidentally go flash their own firmware on them. That'd be awesome if they would do something like that. And I know there's a whole lot of arguments about, hey, everybody, they want to mine our data, but it's they would sell a ton, because people would just be like, hey, I'm gonna buy that device, and you. Like, that's kind of like with some of the things with Shelly is I would actually put them at other people's homes and leave them in the Shelly cloud, but then I'll use them here locally, either with MQTT or my own firmware. So, yeah, and the 10 amp, I mean, 10. You really look at a lot of circuits are 15 amp. 10 amp is going to be, yeah, that'd be cool. If you just send me an email, I'll send you something to your. I'm sure I can contact you or something on your website, or you can just put my channel name, all one word, like it is, at gmail.com, and you can send me something, and we'll go from there. Or you can always catch me on Discord as well. So, yep. That'll work. All right, Vaughn. If I'm saying it right, is it Vahan London? I'll just say Mr. How about I'll just say Mr. London, because I'm always butchering names. So, I know the Discord chat didn't work. Okay. It should open up. I guess I need to look. Ooh, is it expired? That would be bad. Because I have that in the freaking videos too, at the copy and paste. Oh, that would be bad. But it would not surprise me. Let's see. Expires never. No limit. And generate link. Copy. Look, there's the It looks like it's the same one. That's weird. I don't know. You got me on that one. I'll make another one. Just email me. We'll figure it out. So where's Patrick's information of this this siren? I'm looking for it. Do you have it, Patrick? I am not. Apparently, one thing I forgot to be prepared for. I know, I want to say it was Zero Cool sent it to me, and it was like a GitHub gist or something like GIST or GIFs, however you want to say it. I guess that's the same argument of GIF versus GIF. Or you can hit the thumbs down button too. We're all good. So, like I normally say. Geez, I feel bad now. I knew I saved it somewhere. I don't know what I did with it though. And I was messing with it the other day. But now I've got 5,000 things on my desktop with Windows and everything watching stuff. And I don't want to go digging all through my links. Let's show you all my passwords, right? And watch Patrick's going to say, hey, it's not working. YouTube's not letting me link something. Look, there's Patrick right there. We'll drag it over here. All right. Now I get my 5,000 windows out the way. And everybody can Any reason a Tasmota wouldn't let a relay toggle if it's not on a Wi-Fi network? Were you using anything like button topic? Because typically it should. And only time I've seen it, if there's weird rules and stuff, it won't let the power, but the power should still work without Wi-Fi. New flash. It'll work once it's connected. We can try one. I'm not really sure. It should. Now, I know it will do if you have some of the Wi-Fi config set to throw up the access point. It will throw that access point up and then start rebooting every 180 seconds, I think it is. And it will reboot and try to connect to Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know MQTT not being set up, which not being connected, actually causes some delays because it's trying to connect on the Wi-Fi, and it can't, and you'll get some delays with no MQTT. I don't know. We can try it. One of these, we can. I can block it from the access point and see what happens. Yeah, was that the current 8.2 version? So for that siren, and I know we'll circle back to that. That siren's pretty cool. I mean, it's got a lot of. Okay, so Leland says if it's turned off, I can still switch on lights, but it has a long delay. Yeah, I could see the long delay. I don't know what you consider long delay, but I could see that when the no MQT connects, that single that little 8266 is just trying to do all those connections, and it would get delayed. We can try it on one of these and see what happens. We've got one of these. So it was cool. I was playing with the siren, and while I was showing the siren, I was such an idiot. Well, I wouldn't say I was an idiot. Well, yeah, I will always say that. I was an idiot that I ordered one because I just had to play with something, right? And then it never came. It got stuck at my local mail. It went through USPS. It was just, the whole Amazon thing going on with the shipping. And it just sat there forever. And then I was like, okay, they lost my package. So I went ahead and ordered another one. Well, you already know what happened. I ordered another one. The new one got here. The second one got here quicker. And then once it got here, 2 days later, the other one shows up. So, but that one sat in my local. I tracked it. Sat in my local post office for over a week and a half, and I was getting mail every day. And we got other stuff in the mail with no issues. I don't know what happened to that package. So I have 2 of them, and instead of me sending one back, I said, hey, you know what? We'll play with one on a live stream, and then we'll do a little giveaway thing, and I'll send out that the other siren to. Now, of course, again, it is just to the U.S. folks. If someone in Canada or, say, Australia, I'm thinking of time zones here, we'll figure out something else. We'll try to figure out like a gift card or something like that instead of the siren. So, but, yeah. So, but the siren's pretty cool. I'm going to turn that light off again. I know we're not going to be able to see how loud it is. My son really liked the dog barking ones. But Patrick has the was your favorite Martin Jerry switch and dimmer? Yeah, well, so how you enter, Jordan, is you first have to wait through my rambling of all the nonsense of how to use the siren. But we'll do just a little chat thing here in a little bit. But Patrick went through and reverse engineered this stuff. So we got the rules and everything. I do like really their 3-ways are good if you don't have any issues with them. And I like the dimmers and I like the regular switches. Stay away from I'll say it again and again and again. Stay away from the 3-way dimmers. Those are not ESP based. Those are RTL based. So, so the rules. is we changed the alarm. Yeah, they changed the alarm sound. Is, and I have it cranked up probably. Is mine did go up to 17. And if you did do a power, and they have a lot of different sounds and stuff. The Moe's three-way and the Moe's three-way switch is fine. Of course, I did that little video on it. It's a little different, weird setup because it has that voltage sensor to detect if the circuit's on or not. But that one still works, and everything I've got still one installed with that. So, so the sound, there's a bunch of different sounds. Some of them are not very loud, but some of them were. I know it's doing it on here. Yeah, some of them are very loud. My wife's probably gonna come in here and say, "What the hell are you doing? Owen's trying to sleep. You gonna wake up Owen?" I want to say what there was the dog bark. Is it no? There's a bunch of different sounds to it, but it's pretty simple little thing. It is pretty loud for the size. They say it's a, now of course I don't have a dB meter to test it, the true, if it is, it's 120 dB. So, but it's pretty simple to do that, and you can implement it with I think Zero Cool, if I remember right, in Discord. He even was sharing, like, he had like 2 of them, I believe, in the house, and he did everything with like Wise motion sensors and door sensors, and he built a whole alarm system and panel thing, and did everything with Home Assistant. And he used those alarms, and I don't think he showed exactly where he had those installed for various reasons, but I thought it was pretty cool. So, of course, after that, I was like, well, I got to pick one up. And you could use it for a lot of different door chimes and notifications or whatever. Might have to turn the volume down. So, I mean, you don't want to blast at 120 dB like, when the dryer's done or something like that. So, but, so for the Siren, that's the Siren link there. Yeah, now you're gonna make me go find the dog. The dog. Okay, let's just do it. I'm gonna go find it. It's probably not gonna sound good over the microphone. We'll go through and we'll find out. It was like, I want to say it was like halfway through, and then remind me. We'll go see if we can mess with one of. Let's see. Nope. We did 10. It may have been 11. There it is. So the dog one is 10. So it'll annoy the hell out of you. Yeah, I did flash it with till you convert, but it is, we talked about when I first showed the opening of it, it is, I would call it a plan B device. It does have open pads on the actual board, so if worst comes to worst, you can't get to your convert working on it, then you can hit it with FTDI adapter. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. It's a ready to go package. You can put batteries in it, plug it in. It uses micro USB and ready to rock and roll. It's that same argument, Tim, that, hey, were you gonna buy a $10 or $15, $20 flood sensor that's Wi-Fi or whatever, when you really could take 2 wires and a Wemos and a power supply or whatever and build your own little flood sensor? But hey, what's spend a few dollars, a ready to go package. So it just depends on, hey, how much time do you have? Do you want it already in a neat little package? But hey, if you got a lot of time and you do 3D printing designs and whatever, by all means, make your own stuff. So it's not really for everyone, and by no means, it's just stuff that we found, and no, there's no sponsors or nothing on none of this or whatever. So go feel free to use whatever. Like I said, was that Neo Cool was another one that was out there on AliExpress. There's just these little alarms. So, but it's just cool. I think it's ready to go solution. So, let's try to block one of these on that. Let's do that KMC one. I know. Let's see if we can still turn it on. I may have closed it by now. Now, one thing I did want to do is I need to turn the Wi-Fi config back off, and I can't remember what the command was. Is it Wi-Fi? I know it's Wi-Fi config 2 that I want. Disable Wi-Fi manager, but we'll try. Wait until without. So we'll do Wi-Fi config 5. It's going to disable Wi-Fi manager and wait until the access point's available again without rebooting. So that's what we want. If I can remember which one it is. Oh, look, y'all stopping me. Let's do that for the siren thing. Let's do this right quick. Never mind. I'm getting scatterbrained. Wi-Fi config 5. We'll put it on wait. And I have MQTT enabled with it already, I believe. Yeah, I do have it enabled. So we will just block it. That's IP124 from the Wi-Fi. This one. Let's see. Ping 10, 10, 1, 1, 2, 4. All right. So just to show, and then we'll block it. Where's the block button? All right, make sure we block the right one. Pick the How about I pick the wife's Roku or phone, right? Block that one. Should be real happy. All right. So that should stop pinging. Oh, yeah, appreciate it, Oval. Thank you, sir. All right, so we got a blocked Tasmota device. And let's see if we can turn we still should have the button set. I hope. Yeah, I didn't mess with this one. Yeah, so it does actually it's actually quick, still quick. So yeah, I was thinking it'd have more of a delay, because I have seen it have a delay when there's no MQTT. So I'm not sure what issue you were having when saying it was. I know, Tim, you were having an issue with it not being able to turn on a relay when there was no Wi-Fi. So this one has Wi-Fi enabled on it. And I just blocked it, of course, on the access point. And it does have MQTT enabled, but of course it can't connect either. And so, but we did set that Wi-Fi config 5. So I know if you have Wi-Fi config 2 set, it will try to do that reboot stuff, and then that will impact the switches and the delay and stuff like that. So it's pros and cons with that Wi-Fi config 2. And really, I used Wi-Fi config 2 a lot because we had that issue with to your convert way back, where if you were putting in your password and you put it in wrong and hit save, then it would sit there and try to connect to that wrong password. No, Tim, the other Tim, we actually, you may have to roll back if you didn't see the beginning. Is there's actually a new firmware that we want everybody to test, and I'll drop the link in here again. And as Frederico helped out with that pull request, and it allows you to do a up to 5 button multi-press and then 1 long press. So you'll get 6 actions per button. And there's no rules to do with the doing the button straight out of the box. So, but you do have the ability to do rules. If you want to put a button on the wall and have it do 5 different MQTT messages, by all means you can, because it does different button states. So you could, if really I was thinking about it in my living room, because I've got 6 Zimmy Smart downlights, is doing some different scenes where I was going to group them by 2 and then do a, single press for the first 2, double press, and then triple press. So, yeah, I think after this we finished the live stream. I think YouTube chews on it for a little bit, and then it should populate on the channel, and you should be able to go back through it. So, oh yeah, okay, Tim, yeah, just I don't know if you have any other issues with it, maybe we can see what's in Discord or something like that. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that one, and but it should be able to work. So I'm not sure of all the stuff you're trying to do. So before we do that, let me unblock my plug, because I'm gonna be sitting here in 2 days from now trying to figure out why my plug is blocked. Trying to remember where that's at. I'll just make a note of that instead of waiting y'all wait for that. I know I have to go look in the insights or whatever it is. Yeah, I'll find it. I know you gotta go find the device and all that crap. I don't like the way the block stuff is hidden in the Unify controller, but that's just another thing. Let's go take a look at, is a firewall. Oh, I just blocked it on the access point. I don't have no Unify firewall here. So I just have just the access points. So we just totally cut it off at totally everything. Oh, there's under clients. There's a button for all clients. And I've already went off of it. I'll fix it after the thing. No point. Then close the other window. So we'll do the giveaway thing on the siren that I accidentally ordered one too many on. And like I say, it's going to be just U.S. folks, and then we'll figure out something else. We will do something if somebody else gets it outside of the U.S., and we'll go from there. So hopefully Nightbot's going to work for me. All you got to do is just chat. Yeah, there you go. Should just be able to chat. And it looks in the last, if you've chatted in the last, whatever. Oh, I guess I should change it the other way. Anybody that's chatted in the past 15 minutes. How about that? So yeah, it's the, I did not, this is the extra one. I haven't even opened it yet. I did not do till you convert on it. So I haven't even messed with it. So I didn't. I looked at it and I said, well, I got an extra, and so we'll do it on a giveaway. So and I'll ship it out to you guys this week. So we have 17. We'll just let it build up here. And the SSH defaults. Yeah, I did change the SSH just because I'm particular about some of these default passwords that come with stuff. I did change the SSH password that goes in there. Yeah, I wouldn't say confirmed. I mean, you can dig around like on the Blackadder template website. Yeah, Seth, we can do some rules after this. I'm not going away. It's 9:30. I've got about another 20, 30 minutes we could. Yeah, I've got a link to the Siren. So yeah, I'm not doing this. I don't follow any rules. We're not where you gotta stay at the end and everything to do the giveaway. No, we're gonna do some more stuff. I'm sure people will drop off after they do this. That's fine, whatever. So, but so we got 23 people in there, and like I say, hopefully you're US based. If not, we'll figure out something else. Maybe we'll do like a gift card to like your Amazon, your area, or something like that for about the same price of the Siren. But then I still have the other Siren, so I don't know what I'll do with it. I don't know. So, all right. So we got 24 people. All right, Jim, take it easy. And we'll go ahead and hit it. Leland got it. Okay. So I don't know where Leland is at. I saw he was chatting in here earlier. So we'll send it out to Leland. Leland, if you see this, hopefully send me something in Discord and we'll go from there. Let's see if Leland, I know it's random, but do you recommend the LOHAS bulbs? Yes, I actually do, and I did want to say if I do keep a list of stuff that I know is typically, if you look on my page, I know I'm asking about stuff on, and I don't know if that link is going to add in. Okay, it did work right. Is if you do, if stuff's not to your convert on there at all, and I typically won't put it in there. Like if I have like a whole Martin, like because everybody's always asking about Martin Jerry stuff, and I should probably have stock in Martin Jerry stuff, but you'll notice there's no Martin Jerry 3-way dimmers in here because they're not to your convertible. So I tell people straight up, do not buy the Martin Jerry 3-way dimmers. So Leland, send me something in Discord. Hopefully I'll know it's you. And I'll send out your stuff to you. And hopefully you are in the US. Otherwise we'll figure something else out. So yeah, on the LOHAS stuff, I think these are LOHAS. I still like the what was the House Tasmota meltdown? That wasn't mine. That's something that's very funny. That comment, I'll have to bring that up. These are some of my favorites. These LOHAS bulbs are some of my favorites. They did change them. You can't pop the top off and get to the pads easily to flash them manually anymore. But they are 2U convertible, but they also added that 5th channel. So they're cool white and warm white, and they're just PWM based. They're pretty cool. They're really good stuff, and they're very bright. I did a couple videos on the bulb stuff. That was fun, and but yet time consuming, to say the least. If you want to take a look at because right after I did that big bulb compilation video, I did one on the new LOHAS. And yeah, So I did one on the new Loha's stuff. Um, and they they have the cool white and warm white stuff to them, and they're pretty bright. And that's this one of the old ones and the new ones. And I want to let me fast forward on. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see where I start rambling. So you can see the cut. This is the what I did was take turned off all the automatic settings on the DSLR, and luckily I only had two bulbs this time to take a bunch of pictures of. Took pictures of all the colors at full brightness and put them side by side for you. And I want to say the red on yeah, you can see the one on the left is a little bit lower. I think I can't remember which one that was, but for the most part, and that's just comparing the old to the new Lohas. And then I compared a different bulb with it for doing the warm white because the previous Lohas did not have warm white. So um, can't send a message to you on Discord for 3 minutes. What's that mean? Oh, okay. Steam game. If you want to give it away, Gremlins Inc. What is Gremlins Inc? You have to tell me more about that. Was you got like a code or something like that to Linear? The Moe's stuff. What Moe's stuff are you talking about? That's just a one time code or something, isn't it? So the who was asking about the Moe's? Darren was asking about Moe's. Which Moe's? Ah, okay. Well, maybe we'll do that at the end and see. The Moe's switches are bulb. Moe's has bulbs. No, you're gonna get me to buy some. You gonna get me to buy some bulbs. Moe's smart bulbs. Oh, okay. Oh, hmm. I haven't seen. I haven't. Those look kind of like. Those look like those. Oh, what's the name of those Rio Food bulbs? That they're 5 channel. I don't know. I never. That is this. That's the 2 year Smart Life app. I know that right there on that phone. Now, whether they have their 2 year convertible or not, I do not know. Um, typically, I've had really good luck with. I know I'm gonna sound like I do have a Moe's. I don't know if it's gonna show the right way or it's gonna be backwards. A what Moe's Wi-Fi smart garage door controller, but that's become a whole mess in itself, and it's not just a big mess. It's a 2 year it's 2 year convertible, but it's weird. I don't know why they put a 2 year MCU in a device with so little pins. I didn't get that. So, but yeah, the Moe's switches have been good. I mean, that's kind of if you really go back um, to my very first video that is still up. And yeah, I'll always leave it up and let it live in infamy, right? Infamy. Um, sort by date added is I want to say this. Oh, this was Oidum, but I want to say that was just a rebrand of Moe's. That was that very first dimmer that I did, and reverse engineered the Tuya MCU stuff, and then put it into Tasmota. It was like the first dimmer we put really into Tasmota, and then of course then it spawned off, and it got picked. That Tuya MCU is now a whole module now because of all the different Tuya devices. So, but I've had really good luck with some of the Mo's stuff, and that this is that garage Mo's garage door opener I was messing with. Was it this one? Yeah, this. I wanted to kind of see how a ready to go version was compared to say doing a Sonoff SV, and then doing it whether we use some different reed switches or whatever. I wanted to try to do the garage door controller. So VJ, just Tasmota sized my Tuya for easy. I'm not too good on I don't have any Alexi, and I won't say the name. The Amazon voice assistant. I don't have one of those anymore, so I know some have had mixed results using that Hue emulation to get them to work on there. I just don't have any experience doing it. So yeah, that one I soldered it, but for other reasons. Hold up, I have on the floor. Let me turn my light on. I did not intend to talk with this guy, but y'all bringing up Mo's, right? So this is what tilt switches. Yeah, the tilt. So the tilt. Do you actually put the tilt switch on the garage controller? On the garage door? I can't speak right now. Desk. Let me get this thing out the way. Timothy asking a good question. So this guy, I'll answer that question here shortly. I didn't have to solder this guy, but it has you can see it's, if I can get it out the glare, the TYE2S. I know if we've seen on a bunch of plugs and stuff like that, that's that Tuya. That's that Tuya module. But what I was doing, because when I opened this up, I saw this IC here, and this looks like that Tuya MCU. And so I went ahead and I said, well, oh crap, because there's sometimes, just like with this Siren, if you flash it straight off, well, then you don't have the firmware anymore, so it's a pain in the ass to reverse engineer it. So what I wanted to do is I soldered wires to it first. I backed up the stock firmware from it, and then I went ahead and did Tuya convert from it. So yeah, that's that Tuya module thing. And yeah, it's an ESP8266. It's in there. And we've seen those in a couple different plugs. And there's a TYA3S. It's a little different size. It's a different little form factor, but all the pins are out the bottom on this one. So answer to that one is I had to ask the question, how many, and you say HA devices, do you mean actually in production or in drawers, half finished projects, whatever? What would depend? I've got so many different switches and stuff, and it probably drives people crazy. Active, I want to say last time I looked, I want to say I probably that were Tasmota based. Well, I think it was like around 55. And then I've got several ESP home devices, so I'm probably up around 70, just give or take. So yeah. So I probably got there's seven. That's about right. And because I've got right at 100 devices on, yeah, they're all in use now. My GUI is nowhere. Uh, my little GUI and Home Assistant is nowhere near what others have. I am not a GUI person at all. So I'm looking for my other. Yeah, so I've got a bunch of different downlights. It's the washer and dryer stuff. I've got this power monitoring. Yeah, I don't have any really like crazy charts and stuff. I just don't use the GUI a whole lot. I don't usually typically bring in cameras unless I'm messing with them. I know we're talking about cameras there. Um, she likes it. She doesn't have the GUI on her phone. She probably never seen the GUI before. She always uses we try to do a lot like we try to do a see like I can tell you this GUI. See the GUI. I haven't messed with this. It's got a bunch of stuff that I don't use anymore. Um, so she does a lot of stuff through voice assistant, and we have the Google ones, and I'm trying to not say the name. And but I do a lot of automations to drive things, and that's kind of it's like a true I call it the true smart house, not just remote control house. So like for instance, that when I put the alarm panel on night mode, automatically it turns on some of my motion sensors in the kitchen to drive some lights at a lower dim level. There's a motion sensor that comes off of the alarm system for the living room, motion sensors in the bathrooms, motion sensors in the hallways. So basically, when I get up, I can go to the bathroom, don't touch a light switch, and then have it like on warm white, very dim after 10 o'clock. It turns back off. It's all I try to do a lot of automated lighting. So yeah. I try not to have to mess with the GUI. That's my always goal of things. So yeah, so and actually you say, well, how does she like it? Actually, when I first I was not gonna even do an automated device at all in my master bathroom, but then she was like, "Hey, you should do the automated lighting and the automated vent and humidity and everything." And so I just went from there, and I said, "Yeah." So yeah, we still use regular light. Now, that is one of my rules is I still have to have a light switch on the wall. Um, because, just sometimes at the end of the day, it just makes sense to push a button. And I don't want to reteach people how to do hey, you got to use this to turn on the light or whatever. So, um, yeah, so typically a lot of times the lights I can turn on from a light switch. So, Seth, I don't know if you're still. I didn't forget about you. Um, Seth, you were talking about rules. What stuff with rules did you want to figure out? And let me see if I got any email. Let's see. Leland sent me an IM. I'll see if I can see if Seth didn't drop out back or fell asleep. I think Seth, if it's the same Seth, well, Seth, I think he's in. It would be daytime for him, I believe, though. So maybe he's taking a daytime nap during my rambling. He fell asleep. So, trying to think what else we had going on. I didn't have a whole lot of. I've been too busy working, I guess. Yeah, I actually thought about doing some tablets on the wall, but we just don't use a whole lot of the tab. I would probably do it more if I did the tablets. It would probably be where it had like three or four of my favorite cameras outside. It would just have them on 24/7. So, or if there was a way that you got somewhere near them with motion and it would wake them up or something like that. But I think it would be nice to have my cameras on them all the time, like a couple of different panels. So for cameras, I'm using Blue Iris, of course. I know I did a video on Blue Iris back. Let's see. I did one on this is the it's not raining anymore, of course. But I like the Blue Iris web interface and being able to look at the cameras and everything. And then I like the flexibility of using. I know it's Windows based, but I just like the ability to be able to throw in whatever cameras you want. So. Oh yeah, it does integrate with it. There is MQTT built in. There's a couple. I think there's a couple custom components that people have made out there. The MQTT is built straight into Blue Iris, and you've got streams you can get out of it. You got JPEGs you can get out of it. You can do a bunch of stuff. So, yes, absolutely. Is putting your cameras on a different VLAN and blocking them, and so they don't call home all the time. Even I know some people say, "Well, I'll just put them on. I won't port forward anything," and UPnP is turned off. They'll still call home a lot, and just I don't want that myself. So there's Seth. He says, I approve his message. Yeah, there are other ones. There's Shinobi. I like a lot of people using ZoneMinder, MotionEye. I've tried some of those, and I just kept circling back to Blue Iris. And so I did throw I talked about in that video of a Core i7 box with just the internal GPU on it, and it does. See, I was messed up. It was not. I was thinking Australia. It's India. So, yeah, definitely. There's a couple different ways. If you don't have a VLAN stuff, you can assign them. I know some people are saying that if you don't have VLAN stuff on your router, you can assign them to a static IP, and then I want to say you can remove the default gateway, and that'll block them. But of course, you can say, well, what if the camera has something built in that to go around that? It's always my worry. I do like to just block them with a type of VLAN. So, so what does Seth? Seth has, yeah, or there is a lot of other a lot of even consumer routers for like doing. I know it sounds silly, but parental control stuff. Now you don't want to block it on your Wi-Fi, but you just want to block the internet from them. You can find there's a lot of parental control stuff, and that is way too white. We'll do Notepad++. And you can do a lot of that with like parental control and block the cameras. So let's see what Seth has going on right quick. Yeah, I've played with those three V3C ones. I'm kind of right now. I stick with the Reolink ones when I need them, but they only have that smaller field of view. But sometimes that's good in some areas. But then when I need a wider angle, I usually like to use those Amcrest cameras. So on switch 1 state, so you're doing any state, do backlog. Now you shouldn't need to use a PoE type switch. Yeah, Logan, I just use some Netgear. I I probably have them on my list probably. Seth is like, answer my stupid question. Stop jumping over other people's stuff. Yeah, I have I use the I have a I like the they were pretty cheap at the time. See, I can see I bought that one 2019. It just those Netgear Pro Safes. At at the time, I was not going to. I did look at some of the Unify switches, but Reddit scared me away from them. They had a lot of people with failures, a lot of people with the, oh, well, you can just fix it. You got to change the fan out. And I was like, I don't want to start changing the fan out and losing my warranty. And so I was like, it's just a switch, and it does have their managed switches and their VLANs. Um, so I only have one of those Unify mini switches, the 5-port switches. So yeah, it just needs a PO. Just give me PoE. I'm good to go. So I'm trying to see what you're doing on switch one state. You shouldn't need a backlog here though. You need to do. I don't think that's command. What are you trying? You're trying to set. You're trying to set a. What are you trying to do here, Seth? Yeah, that's one thing I don't think I can do. I can restart them individually. So on event toggling 1 equals 0 do. Oh, you're trying to just flip flop back and forth? That's what it kind of looks like. I would think you would do. And then you would just do toggling one. Is that what you're trying? I see. I'm not trying to see exactly what that looks weird. Why? Because typically when you have a backlog, you've got a backlog, and then because typically backlog is like this. You would do backlog, power. If I can type power 1 1, and then you'd put in a semicolon, and you'd say like power 2 0. And then you could say turn, rule 1, and then, or like we've done like some of the set options. I'm just making up a set option here, 36, and then you would say end on, and you just put all your not rules, your commands inside the semicolons to do the backlogs. Yeah, where's he needing the backlog at, Patrick? It's probably one of those things I got to mess with. It looks like you probably just need to do event toggling. Is that what they're trying to do? It would work just without that maybe that backlog was throwing it up. And then, yeah, I guess I see the bigger picture of it, but yeah, I don't know why they had that backlog in there. It should work, I would think. I don't have one to try it on right quick, so it's scary to ask anything. You're trying to get me in trouble because there's other people gonna watch this later in Tasmota, right? Um, I, asking the Tasmota on my Discord, and I'll be sure one of us will be sure. I'm sure Patrick will probably get to it before I will. I'll play with it on a Switch, and maybe we can try to get that working right for you. So, um, y'all trying to get me in trouble. That's what it is. So we'll say no comment on that one. Why would multi-press rules suddenly stop working? Which you doing the new multi-press stuff, John Franks? Hostile coders. us IT people are weird. You know, you all know that, right? No, we'll jump. I'll mess with it in yeah. The very beginning of this, once it posts back on YouTube, we were doing a multipress with just to make it worth it. Yes, it does take special people to run a help desk. I've been there. I have been there. Let me get my Moe's garage door thing out the way, just so you can see it is worth it to go back and watch. The bin file I will leave in the description of the video, but let me turn the light off. Is multipress 5 times. See, look, watch. I'm just pressing once. There's relay 1. There's relay 2. That's twice. 1, 2, 3. There's relay 3. And if we had a relay 4, you could do 4 and 5, and then you could do long presses. So, really cool stuff. Frederico's probably jumped out and gone. He's probably, it's close to midnight for him now. He's probably jumped out. But Frederico was the one that did that. And you can decouple the button from the relays with this new thing, with the new button V2. And it will put the, you can do MQTT from it. If you look at, I know I'm saying that y'all probably, we already saw this, but you know, hey, we'll be helpful and not be mean to people. If you look in, we on the stream, we put the bin file in there in my Tasmota bins alternate folder, and they are looking for testers to try that out. Once you flash it, it should show in the information tab, it should say button V2 once you flash it. And there's no special rules or anything like that. And okay, so Frederico didn't fall asleep. Good deal. And so definitely check that out and test it out. So, and hopefully we'll bombard Frederico and hopefully it not be broken. I think he said there's an issue with inverted buttons. So if you have a device with inverted buttons, don't try it just yet. That would be a device that has like button 1I, I believe. Yeah, I think it's button 1I. Is it button 1I? Yeah. Button, if you have a device, which there's not a whole lot. If you have one that has button 1I for an inverted button, don't try the button stuff yet. So, yeah, Dale, that actually will do. If you, like I say, you watch back, rewind through a bunch of my rambling, and the first 5 minutes was fighting YouTube, by the way. So skip all that crap. We did it on the little power bar with the five relays, and I did it with here too. So inverted, I want to say inverted, it's pulled low all the time. It's pulled to ground, and then it stays high when it goes to high when you push it. Most of the devices don't use inverted. The ones I can think of that use inverted would be the power button on the Martin Jerry dimmer is inverted. And then I know the Shellys on their switches use inverted as well. So there's not many that I've run into. Now, of course, I hadn't seen every single one of them. There's not many that use inverted button. So, anything else before I jet? I want to see. I have lost so many windows here. I know we did the thing with the Siren and Leland. We'll get Leland to send it out to Leland. That's all good. Do you have the Mo's DS01C? What is the DS01C? Mo's DS01. It does like sound like a dimmer. Is that the dimmer? Mo's dimmer. Is that the right model? Oh, yeah. Let's go. We're going to read that comment right quick, too. Is it the Mo's? Is this it? Ah. Is this the Mo's dimmer you're talking about? I do have one of those installed, and I want to say I did that with the Tuya MCU setup video. I used that model. If that's the right one we're talking about. I don't see a model number on here. That Mo's it does work fine. I have one in my kitchen, and it's over my sink, and I use it actually in an automation. If that's the one you're asking about. Yeah, and it works fine. I think I probably still have it on my shop DigiBlur list or whatever. And it does use a Tuya MCU, so you just follow that video. It's real simple. Set your dimmer ranges and rock and roll. And I use it for dimming, I use it with motion lights in my kitchen, and so that we walk in there, it turns it on at like 10% or something like that. So the template was, let me see. I want to say that it's gonna be for a Tuya MCU. It's gonna be an either or. Let's see. I want to say it's sync dimmer. Yeah. So the template for that one, yeah, it's 54, and the template, just to show you. I got the screens all stretched out, and y'all gonna be hating me because it's mixed up with the chat. But typically, if the Tuya MCU stuff, because it's without going into too many details, there's UART1 and UART0 on that Tuya module, and so if you pick module 54 and go into configure module and pick module 54, I know it's on 0 because we did a template, but if you pick module 54, it's going to set GPIO 1 and 3 as your TX and RX. And if you don't see those, I talk about this in that Tuya MCU dimmer setup video. If you don't see that heartbeat packet, then what you do is go ahead and set RX to 13 and 15. And that's UART1 of the Tuya module. And, well, really the ESP8266, I guess. But and then so you'll set those, and typically you will get the heartbeat packet. I haven't run into a Tuya MCU module that uses a third set of pins yet. So, but it's real simple to do. You really don't need a template for a Tuya MCU module, really. I think it's what I was kind of getting at in that video at the beginning. So, before I forget, let's see if I can find the comment of. Let me drag this over here. We did the previous live stream. We talked a lot about the set options. Yep. Am I getting any fatter? I don't know if we can put the head close together, you know, because we've all been at home. The kitchen is way too close to this room where I got to work at. I'll just say that there. So, let's see. Where is the comments? I think you got to scroll way down. I don't like the design of this. Where was it? Here we are, right here. So I don't know if Dave is here, but he did post this publicly. And that's why I wanted to go to it in the comments, because you can go read this. But in short, we were talking about a mixture of set option 65, which is good, which I did talk about earlier with the power cycling and factory default in your devices. But we also talked about doing that device group thing where you can sync your switches and light bulbs real simple with no rules. Well, he set that set option. Oh, I went blank with the, I forgot the set option. It is 85. There it is. Set option 85 with, I guess, 65 and 85. He set option 85. And so he's had 54 devices all got synced at one time. So they all kept their power states. So if you flip the power switch on one light switch, it would flip the power state on everything to on. And then you'd turn it off, it'd flip them all back to off. So he had like garage door openers, and he did this while he was remote. So it was like every switch, both garage doors, washers, dryer, everything in the house running Tasmota. And I know, hopefully he's not taking this offensive or we're having a good laugh at his accord, but I can only imagine his wife would have been fuming at that point. So mine would have been too. She'd have been like, yeah, I can only imagine. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I was glad that he shared it on public. So that was pretty funny. So, but hopefully we didn't miss any other fun or questions. So, but it's 10 o'clock for me, and we've been over 2 hours, and I have a lot of work to do. I'm sure this week again with everything going on still. Hopefully I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna get off into that subject and let that be the time of unsaidness, where I know you guys probably watched enough news, so I don't need to bring up anything as well. So we'll leave it there. So, anything else before we jump out of here? I don't think I missed anything. I don't know, maybe if I get time, maybe we'll pop in, do a stream of trying to show you how to, I did one before, reverse engineering. I want to pull those 2U MCU commands off that garage door opener. See if I can do it with serial again. It's kind of a cool thing. So, and that's a good idea. Sir Good Enough is don't watch the news. I try not to as well. So, all right. With that said, yep. Stay safe, everybody out there. Hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate any donations, likes, don't likes, whatever. Hey, whatever. We're doing this all for fun. So I do appreciate it. And catch us in Discord. And y'all take care.